This is the J Suit Lover, and I am Lover. And on this YouTube channel, we do reality shows, commentaries, movie reviews, and everything entertaining. And today on this video, I'll be discussing about this new film on Showmax, Adulting. So Adulting is a very interesting one, yes, and it's different from a good number of films we've seen. In what sense? But in what sense? If I'm talking about this from the perspective of gender, that's like we've seen a lot of films that centers around the life of a group of women and how they navigate their career relationship and this friendship. Yeah. But this one now, it's a group of guys. I think we've seen for Nigerian films, we've seen a good number of them. That's like we've seen the Men's Club. It has the same story. It has this group of men and their relationship and the rest. So I think this is the first time we are seeing such on Showmax. So like in the past or like last year or earlier this year, we had Flawsome, we have Unmarried. So it's and now we're seeing this one. So it's like from the other perspective of the male gender. So I have a lot to talk about this film. What's the name? Adulting. Yes, it's a very interesting one. I did watch episode one and I was like, wow, I will continue from the very first scene of this show of this series. I felt like, wow, this is really adult thing because it's not meant for kids. Like this scene was just so like say explicit. Everything was just out there, and I question: did they really use body double, or it was the actors that did all of this? Like, let us just go into this conversation proper. But before we do that, please and please and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do so. Film is a very interesting one. Like the very first scene had this scene where the one of the main character Bonga and one of the girls. So I was like, is this really like what is happening? Because all these scenes were like so clear, and the angles and parts where we were shown were beyond what we see in probably regular Nigerian Hollywood films. We don't really see things like that. Yes, I think maybe Nigeria is more we are more conservative, and that's not true. Probably we're just like that with our films. Yes, I'm saying that. For this, it's actually very interesting one. The first scene just keep us like, it was just so wonderful. I also like the way the place, like this the setting and how everywhere is just so beautiful. Like if I'm not mistaken, I guess this because like the scenes and the rest, especially that scene where Eric stole a car. I think this is like a popular bridge there in Durban, because I'm watching Real Housewives of Durban, and when they're doing their intro, we always see this bridge part, just the way we have this like Ikoyi link bridge here in Lagos, like in Lagos, Nigeria. I feel that's something like that. If I'm mistaken, you guys should let me know in my comment section if it's really like Durban or not. So let us talk about the storyline and the cast. So I will just pardon you guys should pardon me because I will not go into mentioning the real names of these actors, like their names. I'll just go with the character names, because if I should go with the names, I will kind of pronounce wrongly, and I do not actually like when people pronounce people's name wrongly. So I'll let go of their names. So the story centers around four major characters. That's Vuyani, Eric, Bonga, and Mfo. So it's a very interesting story that tells the life of these people, their friendship, relationship, and the development of and there's this development of these characters, and it's like there's a way they always come together. If you've seen Flawsome, I think you will understand this. So for this first episode, we were introduced to the very first character, which is Bonga. So I'll just talk about each of them, their characters, and what I feel about them and how interesting. But I really did enjoy this new film on Showmax. I really did enjoy it. So for Bonga is a playboy. He doesn't want to get married, and he's 30. He's rich, very successful. So he eventually got a new car and the rest. So he's very rich, and he has a probably wonderful career, which I don't know what career he's into, but he's living fine, and he's like always looking out for his family and the rest. So that's one good thing. But now for his relationship, he has this girl he's like seeing, or like they are actually intimate, but he's not ready to get married to her. And upon coming back home, he saw how she puts roses and the rest in the house. I'm like, no, I'm not in for you. And it's very wonderful that he's sincere about it. It's not like kind of promising her like, or making her feel probably she's special or the rest, and she'll eventually find out that something else eventually. And I still have this feeling that is it because of the new money that came to the life of this guy that I want her to now kind of pin him. I want to be like the girlfriend and the rest. I don't know, but I just like women can be like that at times. Like you just since this like everything's going fine, they just want to stay with you. But he's a play guy. He's not ready to get married. That's for Bonga. Bonga is not ready to get married. He just wants to enjoy. Just want to live his life. It was even telling one of that is Eric that how they cannot just imagine having kids and having kids to just pull in his cars and the rest. So he just wants to keep enjoying the life of a bachelor. So that's for Bonga. However, towards the end of the scene, there was this girl that kept him like, whoa. And this girl is beautiful, to be sincere. She's beautiful, and I think not even I think she's rich because upon it felt like he's rich and he has everything and he can just use like, oh, I came with this car, I can take you. And this girl's like, she's giving big madam vibe. Like she's like, I got my money, I got my car and the rest. So it's very interesting to see. So now I just feel like will this boy that's for Bonga really keep up with being a playboy? Because the last scene when they went to this one man's house, I guess that was like the boss or so, he eventually saw this girl which he met at that event. Was it a club or something? So and it was like, wow. So now it's giving this vibe that now I think Bonga is intentional about this new game. In as much as he's claiming to be a playboy, he's not ready to get married, doesn't want to get married, just wants to enjoy the life of a bachelor. Now this beauty is keeping him glued and is like, no, I will go for this. So do you guys think he's actually going to go for this lady? For me, I feel he will stop being a playboy. Or let us just look at how the story will develop. If he can keep up with this playboy vibe, or maybe this beauty, we kind of put him in that situation of like, oh, I'm ready to get married. So that's one. And I still have this feeling that it might not getting this new girl will not be very easy for him. And we don't even know if the new girl is like the boss's daughter or if she's we don't know who she is. So like this season episode 2 we actually kind of unveil more to us. So away from that we have Umfo. Umfo is the married man in the group. And it's funny that Umfo is cheating. Does that mean like men cannot do without cheating? I don't know. So it's just so funny how he's cheating and the wife even met the side chick and they had to lie that it's Vuyani. So I was like, man, I felt like, what's these people doing? And I just like how very vibrant the wife is. That's like he has a happy family, and I don't see reason why he should be cheating. The wife is beautiful. The kids are just so lovely. Like they are my piano vibe. I'm like, this guy has a wonderful family. Why are you cheating? Why? Oh my god. So, but it's so funny how they just made the girl kind of just push the girl to Vuyani and make the wife believe that she's into Vuyani. So that's one interesting thing about that's for Umfo. Umfo is married but he's cheating and we don't know how he can keep up with this. So I think his whole story will be based on how he's doing his things outside and how he can still kind of maintain his family and the rest. So away from the married man in the cycle or in the group, we have Vuyani. And Vuyani is played by one of these Big Brother Mzansi housemates from last season, BO. And it's a very wonderful one. Like this is the very first film I'm seeing him in. And I think they said it was in one other film, I don't know the name. But it's so interesting to see like stars from Big Brother also doing so well in the South African film industry. It's interesting to see. So for me, his character is a very interesting one, and for him is the will I say the prostitute. Like he's the one who is into like he just mess around, he just go around, and he have a sugar mommy, like a sugar mommy. So she actually pay for his bills and she kind of keep him, like she's his toy. He is a toy, a toy. So it's just wonderful that he did well with the role and how he was just so vibrant and the rest. But I felt like, why is this woman so like is it dramatic or she's aggressive? She threw like was it glass? it was like a bottle of wine. Yes, it was a bottle of wine. She threw a bottle of wine for on him because he was not picking her call. So that actually put us to this position that when men decide to be like toy to these women, maybe it's just putting it out. Like I think the film is putting out that some men actually have to go through this. What's the name? The way we have women going through domestic violence, it actually portray to me that men to actually go through domestic violence, especially these young men who have actually put themselves to some set of women, just who have decided to stay with some set of women just because of their money. You get, so that's one thing Vuyani will be struggling with. I'm so sure that relationship with this woman is not like, it's not real or it's not like genuine. He just wants to be there because of what he's getting. You get, so that's that, and he still mess around with a lot of girls and the rest. He's just with this woman because of he wants to keep up with a very wonderful life. So that's for Vuyani. And now we have Eric. So Eric has this baby mama issue. Like he has a child and the child is like 16 or 17 or 18 self. So she's of that age. And upon the very first scene, so when what's the name? Bonga went to celebrate his new car and his new contract. Like he got 80 million rands. Yeah, so they went to this club to celebrate and the rest. So Eric is this person that is struggling with. He wants his child. He wants to be the father in the life of his child, but the baby mama is restricting him from this, and he's into crimes. Yeah, he's into crime because there was this scene where he went to hijack cars. So he was arrested. So let me just tell you, like, it was after the very first scene he attacked the woman, and a new man was like, it's kind of came for him, and they were like, no, you cannot do this here. And there was this like physical fight between them and the rest. So after that, the wife he went to pick his kid, that's his child, and take her home. And on the long run, the baby mama came for him, arrested him. After arresting him, she arrested him for kidnapping and also bringing out gun in public, something like that. Yes, that was it. So for Eric, I feel Eric character is a very interesting one, which I'm looking forward to it develop in this series, because we do want to know how himself and his baby mama became this brutal, and the back and forth between them, how well it will go. So that's like everything, like the character, the four characters. It's a very interesting one. If for me, I did like it. I like the way these men were portrayed. So away from the character. So upon before coming to talk about this film, yeah, I went to Twitter to check comment and the rest. Many people were like applauding Eric the most, yeah, and I think Bonga and the rest. I like all of them had a very wonderful story, and I just want to keep up with this film. So there's this comment that it's a South African show, and the reality of South African men does not just end with cisgender men. Is it cisgender? The story about South African men cannot just be around cisgender men, that it should be a kind of representative of probably queer or transgender men, or you get my point now. But for me, I feel like this show is still very early for us to probably kind of come up with such conversation, or kind of be like that. We should let them do their story or give their own story the way they want to give it. But this tendency we might have that along the line. This tendency we might have that along the line. So that's one thing I just want to say about the film. It's a very interesting one. It would be nice if there was like representation that kind of represents society so well. But I just feel it's this person's story, but it's this person's story, and they have decided to tell the story this way. And it's just like the very first episode. There might be tendency that we can see something like that on the long run. So that's my review on what this film adults in. So, and please subscribe. I think that's all. I'm done here.